there, Aries. Welcome to your October 2025 general tarot reading. It's Raina here. For some reason, I thought that this phone had the ability to go between um, point 0.5 times to 1 times, like in between. I'm trying the broader perspective to see if it's just easier for the cards to be seen, but then you lose the resolution. So it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, I guess. Okay. I was thinking to myself, what is, all this drama in these cards for October for Aries? And one of the things that is happening well, there's a couple. First of all, you have a full moon, the harvest moon, on the 6th or 7th, depending on where you live in the world. I've just done a separate video, an astrological video on that full moon and the energy around it. So if you're interested, check my channel. But that's the sun is in your 7th house at that time. So there could be relationship issues that are coming up for you, and especially how it pertains to you, because when the full moon is in your sign, it's in your 1st house and of the self. And it really illuminates, gives you that perspective of yourself that sometimes is hidden because we're embodied, in ourselves, and we're not really taking stock in that. But sometimes it can be an event that occurs that forces you to kind of look at what you are doing in relationships. And it could go either way. It's not saying, oh, well, Aries people are obviously screwing up their relationships. It could be, yes, it could be that you are um, being excessively concerned with yourself and not really paying enough attention to your partner or being cooperative with them. But it could also be that in some cases you are sacrificing yourself. And I'm thinking to myself, do I really believe that an Aries person would? Yes, I do, because if you're a sun in Aries watching this, you could have Venus and Pisces. Your moon could be anything. Your moon might be in Cancer or Taurus, and you really have this strong desire to make the other person happy. But sometimes that can come at your own expense. And so hopefully you'll gain clarity during that time if this is a relationship issue. The heart of the matter is the Three of Swords. This is a card of feeling heartbroken or otherwise rejected. This can also come about in the workplace, obviously. Getting passed over for a promotion is the one that always kind of comes up for me that I think about. And when that happens, when a person experiences such a thing, the question becomes, what are you telling yourself about what this means? Because obviously, it may have nothing to do with your worthiness. It may have to do with office politics. If this is related to a relationship issue, it might be that someone is they're going through their own crisis, identity crisis or what have you, and they are not feeling good about themselves. And you are assuming that this is about you. This is an indictment of you, when it could be anything but that. So it's very important when we experience these types of unwanted things that we not jump to conclusions and not decide that this is saying that I'm not okay, or whatever it is that people, decide with these kinds of things going on. In the past position is the Five of Swords. This is a card of, it can be a card of empty victory. In one of my books, that's how one of the key phrases that they mention, empty victory, meaning that you see this person has a few swords and the other ones are on the ground. Maybe, like for instance, in the workplace, you get the promotion, but at what cost? Did you do something that kind of undermines somebody else? And maybe it wasn't like completely malicious. Maybe it was more selfish than, overtly malicious. Or in love, you find yourself entangled with somebody who is married or otherwise in a relationship, and they leave that person for you, and now uh, you're feeling maybe, in some cases, one of the big ones is they cheat again, and then you're like, all of a sudden you're hurt, even though that's how the relationship began for you, is because um, that person was cheating on their past partner and now they're cheating on you. Something like that, or some other situation where you find yourself in a three-party, like a lover's triangle or anything along those lines. The spiritual message is Seven of Cups, which can be wishful thinking, delusional thinking. So a person who is um, thinking that if they leave their, if they are with someone who is married, that person really is about to get divorced, when that person may not be. That person may be lying through their teeth. Another thing about the Seven of Cups is it can be a card of addiction. It's connected to Neptune, so it can be anything with confusion and deception, and even self-deception, which is what delusion is. And addiction plays into this. Well, first of all, cups can be liquids, and it could be like somebody who has a drinking problem. It can cloud our judgment. And judgment isn't always just when we're making a decision. It can also be when we're looking at a situation. How do we see that situation? We may be seeing it in a very distorted way. And that could be, the Seven of Cups. And it could be because alcohol or some other substance is clouding the judgment. What crosses you is the Three of Wands. So if you have a situation like this, and I'm just kind of going through all the possibilities, whatever it means for you. Let's say it's even in the workplace with other people. Maybe you have coworkers who are very deceptive. And so you may have realized this now because somehow you feel you got tricked about something. And let's say that that's true. The Three of Wands is about expansion, but it's blocked. Sometimes it's funny that both of these cards are three, because three is the number of abundance. When you feel like you have that blocked abundance, it can be because your thoughts are in a place that don't allow for your feelings to be honored and your own talents to be honored, as a matter of fact. So, for instance, with the Three of Swords, you may just be focusing on something that you perceived as a rejection. You didn't get a job that you thought you deserved, or a promotion that you thought you deserved. You were passed over and somebody else got what you wanted. Uh, Maybe you thought that you were going to stay forever with your spouse and they told you that they want to move on. And you're taking it as there's something wrong with me. And really, the Three of Wands is like saying, no, it's time for you to spread your wings. And the universe is giving you this way of doing it. And, the other person gets to be the bad guy, not that they are, but I'm just saying you didn't have to be the one to do it. Because I don't really believe, honestly, that if one person wants to leave a relationship, that the other person is completely happy in that relationship. I don't believe it works that way. I think that usually both people are feeling uncomfortable, but one person has the guts to do something about it. And I'm not saying that's true 100% of the time, but I do feel that it's true enough. What's coming in is the Ten of Wands. This can be a card of working overtime, working very hard, but it can be working upstream. So be careful. Be careful that you're not resisting something or trying to prove something. Aries is ruled by Mars. And sometimes this is why Aries people can seem like they're coming on too strong, because Mars can be our will and our determination to do something. And sometimes if we feel like we're thwarted, and I'm not an Aries, I'm a Sagittarian, I'm a fire sign though, but I said I'm talking about human beings because this is part of the human condition itself. It's just that Aries can specialize in this, but sometimes when we feel like we're being blocked, we can say, well, I'm going to just double down and I'm going to do this. And it's not to say that sometimes that doesn't kind of put you over a hump and you're able to kind of gain momentum through that. But sometimes you have to like read the room and you have to see if maybe you actually need to surrender. And that's like a word that I think an Aries person would kind of recoil at. Oh my God, surrender? Because you think of it as quitting, giving up, feeling hopeless about a situation. No. All it means is that you are allowing yourself to embrace magnetism, which is the feminine principle. Aries is a masculine sign, so it's natural that you want to exert your energy in the outer world. But sometimes we have to take a step back and balance out those two polarities. And then things can come to you. It's called the art of allowing. The outcome is the Queen of Swords, head over heart, logic over emotions. And this is important too, because sometimes we want something that really isn't for us. It isn't really good for us. Seven of Cups. The cups are the emotions. You may want something, you may idealize something, and it could be not in for your highest good. And it's okay that you want something that's not in your highest good. That doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you, because there may be something about that situation that appeals to you, and that's okay. But the point is that right now, your ability to get your emotions in check can serve you well in October. Alrighty then, that's what I have for you. And by the way, it's important for you to note that, in Scorpio season, which comprises 1/3 of the month, the last third, it is in your 8th house, and that is a Scorpio's domain in astrology, and because you have the template, the universal template with your chart, and that's the shadow self, so it does get pretty deep. when we go into that. But the seventh house can be interesting too, because like I said, you have full moon and then there's a new moon on the 21st of the month that is in Libra in that seventh house. If you're, another thing to let you know is I do have astrology forecasts for October for Aries on my channel. And I still haven't, done that thingy where I put the video up. I think it irritates a lot of people sometimes because it covers the video. But if you'd like a private reading, I have astrology readings. I do astrology readings. I do tarot readings. I do combination readings with astrology and the tarot. Please click on the link below. Thanks for watching. Have a great month. Bye.